at home tonight were the Galion Tigers, and they were at a place in the tournament where they have not been since 1985. That's right. It had been 4 decades since they got this deep in the tournament, and we had Matt Dick on Coach's Corner just a couple of days ago. He said this one's about the boys. Friday nights are about the Tigers. If they would come out and play, they could get it done. Early on, here's Sam Schweinfurth to the end zone. Blake Parker, his big play receiver, can't clutch it. So the Tiger defense gets a stop, and then later on, Zach Shaley would block a Pirates field goal, so it's still scoreless late into the second quarter. Just about a minute and a half before we get to the break, Schweinfurth has all the time and allows Kaden Longondo to get open on the track. He cuts back between a couple defenders, hurdles another 43-yarder, puts him up 7-zip at the break, but Galion responds midway through the third. Aiden Schmidt into the flats. Kaden Hay takes a shot, but he gets in there to tie it up on the 16-yard score. Very next drive, Schmidt juking, jiving his way. I got it in slow-mo for a reason because it's a fumble. Where's it going to go? Bodies hitting the deck, and eventually the other Hay bro, Kurt, heads up play. He recovers in the end zone. 14-7 Tigers. They would tack on a field goal to make it 17-7, but just 24 seconds later, Longondo makes an awesome catch, trims it to 17-14. Final play of the game for the win, and it's picked off.
But was it?
Kaden Hay with the interception, and we're rolling it for a reason. Look, he's starting to get tackled. You would think that that's progress at some point there. Nobody blows a whistle at any time. It's pandemonium. There's players on the field for both sides. Most of them aren't even wearing helmets. They thought they had a celebration, so they run it back all over again. That's what the referees decided. Whew, the Tigers avoid absolute disaster. Hay in there involved again. He knocks this one down, so they have to survive not one, but 2 Hail Marys at the end of the game. Travis, you had a very interesting refereed game over at Lucas a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
I've never seen anything like this. We talked to Kurt Hay after the game. He said one of the referees blew the whistle after he intercepted it in the end zone. The rest of them just standing around watching. You really got to credit Perkins and the Pirates. And I don't remember exactly who it was, but Kurt Hay is running. We don't have it shown there. And eventually a Pirate just comes over and he's like, "Can I have the football?" He's like, "Sure, man. The game's over." Tosses it to him. He runs into the end zone. There's a conference for probably 2 minutes. And up in the press box at Heisey Park, collective sweat just starts tripping. People are watching our replays and they're like, "Oh my gosh, he was never down. He gave the football over. Perkins is going to have a walk-off touchdown." And so they said, "Let's run it back." Very confusing, but ball don't lie, as you like to say all the time, Travis. And the Tigers get it done, and that defense was awesome tonight.
Oh, absolutely. That was just something else to talk about. I was actually part of an inadvertent whistle game, Northmore and Hillsdale in the playoffs a few years ago when Hillsdale went to the regional final. But it's just, you have to withstand all this outside noise. And, well, the Galion Tigers were able to. Aiden Schmidt, 222 yards passing. The Hay brothers are picking it up after their fellow receiver, out with the broken leg. 93 yards receiving for Hay. The other Hay, 64 and a touchdown. Capretta with 26, Stuckman with 22. So it seems like Aiden Schmidt, they had the bye they had last week. He's starting to get these other wide receivers into the game. And then Stuckman and Schmidt also, they can run the ball so that despite losing their top receiver, they got the defense, and they have that balance it looks like they got back.
100%. And Aiden Schmidt, he's just a ball player, man. You can tell when he's out there. He's very crafty. He's elusive. He can move it around. And he just seems like one of those type of kids that you really trust. And why wouldn't you? He's won 8 games in a row. The only loss on the season, of course, is to Shelby, who they're going to get a rematch with. And Kaden Hay told me after the game, be careful what you wish for, but we did kind of want to see these guys again. We know that they're big and athletic, but they played them very well the first time, Travis. So we don't know the game site quite yet. We've been pitching around a few ideas. We know that it's not going to be Clear Fork, but wherever it's going to be a packed house. And even though Jacob Chambers is not available, who had a huge game against Shelby in the first matchup, they've had enough time, as you mentioned here, with both of the Hay brothers, that they've stepped up. They normally weren't on the field at the same time, and it seems that they're figuring it out here on the fly. And I think this Galion team, they have so much belief in their defense. They think that they're going to get it done no matter what by the end of the night. And I'm very excited for this upcoming matchup because Shelby's just been dominating.
Yeah.
But they didn't have to play a team like Perkins that went to the state championship game last year. So I think this is a great benefit for Galion to eke out this victory a little bit
100%.
tonight and just kind of wearing their emotions on their sleeves after the game, man. This was big time over there at High C Park tonight.
Oh, absolutely. Just the momentum for them to knock off the defending runners-up in D4. But you got to think it this way. First, for Galion, there's some talk that this game might be at Arlen Field. This is a Galion team, like I said, they look like Ontario last year. What did Ontario do at Arlen Field to Shelby in a regional semifinal? Now, we talked about Shelby. They're playing with a chip on their shoulder because they don't want that happening again, but it may be the same setup, just in a regional final and with a different opponent, but playing just like we saw last year. On the other side of things, for Perkins, it bookends with miscues on the special teams. Week 1, the snap over the head sets up the field goal for Clear Fork to win it. This week, the blocked field goal early on, 3-point difference, both games. Just it stinks for Perkins that special teams cost them a win in week 1 and a chance to go to a regional championship for them.
Yeah, an opportunistic Tigers defense as well. Sam Schweinfurth had only thrown 1 interception all year. He throws 1 tonight, actually 2 if you count the second one that Kaden Hay came up with, even though they wiped that out. And I'm still trying to wrap my head around how you just do this and say, let's do it all over again. Somebody needs to contact that officiating crew and let them know you got to make a call on the field. That was not the right call, in my opinion.
No, players
ended
were on the
working
field
out fine for the Tigers, but the job was done. They had already put it in the book, so they had to sweat it out. But what a matchup we got coming up in week number 14. Galion versus Shelby, round number 2.